The next question is on knife crime from Mr. Barnbrook.
Mr. Barnbrook asked about the proportion of people from the African Caribbean community carrying out knife crime, and I can say that I cannot verify the data given in his question, but I can confirm that obviously African Caribbean males are disproportionately both victims and offenders in knife crime and serious youth violence. Research shows that being a victim of violence increases the propensity to become an offender, and it's vital that in our work on this issue we do take account of this disproportionality.
Thank you, Mayor Boris. Well, with regards to figures, if you go through all the department who have given over to you the information prior to the actual Mayor's meeting time, you'll actually find out these figures are being supplied to me without the request of the injunction to get the figures from the police, quite have passed over, and it's clearly stated that 42% of knife crime is actually committed by 9% of that particular part of the community. Now, once again, it seems left to me to bring the subject of meat to this assembly rather than our newt's going to be here, or our newt's going to be there, or £10 being spent here, or we get transport people over the Thames. So the question is quite clear, I will get to the point of this, is that this cannot simply be brushed aside. I remember last time, if you cannot, sorry, let's get to the back there. If you cannot, the main part of this question is, and what measures will the Mayor take to address this problem of proportionality breakdown? Now, if we do not do anything here at all, you in effect are condemning the children, both black and white, into the hands of the deaf. Now, I remember you making a comment last time I brought this forward, and some spurious statements of the knife is colourblind. Well, I very rarely see knives repelling themselves off of kitchen shelves or supermarket shelves in someone's neck or in someone's back. Another comment we made before, and thanks to the show we mentioned it again, is this being some racist or racial comment. Now, I'm going to say, but I'll still bring up anyway, what the hell. I think I remember, and let's point to this. This is not a racial statement. This is a situation that affects all parts of the community. And as you said last time, and I'm going to bring it up anyway, is that I think this smells of racism or racial concerns that may offend the community.
Mr. Barnbrook, when you're ready, we'll have a question.
The question is coming forward. The question is, I'm now putting me towards that question. I haven't had an answer from it. So the comment is, on this, is, okay, I'll miss that little statement out here. If something is not done by yourself and by this assembly, what happened last weekend of 4 murders and 1 now intensive care, now being up to 26 murders of youth in London, will escalate even greater. Something has to be done. And what can you implement, not only to rectify these figures, to bring them down, but actually to rectify the problem of knife crime running right across this capital city?
Well, let me say that this is a problem that affects all communities, as the last speaker has just himself attested. This is something we've got to deal with. It is a huge priority for everybody in this building and for my mayoralty. And I don't in any way regret the way that we have highlighted this issue. Because time and again, people in London have told me that this is what they want tackled. And people cross the road to tell me that they want action on knife crime. Andrew mentioned the Pride March I went on the other day. And it was extraordinary. We had about 168,000 Londoners standing on the pavements watching this incredible thing. And several times, people from the crowd shouted out, "Oi, Boris, do something about knife crime. What are you doing about knife crime?" People in the city really want something done. And that's why I do think they support the measures we've put in place. They support Operation Blunt 2, the greatly increased use of archers at transport hubs, the greatly increased use of stop and search. I do think that it has the overwhelming support of local communities of all kinds. And the second thing we've got to do, of course, is to make sure that we pursue these people and track these people through the criminal justice system. And it's vital to the police, if they're going to make 1,400 arrests, as they've done over the last few weeks for knife-related offences, we've got to know what happens to people in the criminal justice system. And we've also got to deal with the problem at the bottom of the pyramid, the problem of too many kids going on early in their life. And that's going to be a huge part of what we do over the next 4 years.
But it doesn't look on this then. In fact, you mentioned the 1,200 plus from Blunt 2. The whole element of this is quite clearly what needs to be done. More prisons. More force from this Assembly, from yourself, to Brown and to government for mandatory sentences for those caught with knives. 3 years is sufficient amount of time without any leave and any bend back on this. I know, it's crazy to remove a knife from a kid, from Blunt 2. It's cheaper for that kid to go back into the supermarket and get another knife than to go down to Kentucky Fried Chicken and get a portion of that. It's not simply enough to simply look over, take the knife. They need, very sorry for this, locking away. And they need more stringent elements of building prisons. Not these television prisons. They need Bibles, bricks, and security. Not TVs, swimming pools, holidays here, holidays there. These implementations you're putting forward, Mayor Boris, will not be sufficient without boots behind them.
I'm grateful to you for your advice. The difficulty we have, of course, is that I don't control the prisons. In London we can't, although we have to deal with the problems of knife crime, we cannot exercise any authority over the criminal justice system, which I do think is in serious disarray on this issue. Far too many people are coming out after very short sentences and immediately reoffending. This system